the a-hole for jokingly saying that my youngest daughter's boyfriend would be a better match for my oldest daughter? I, 51 female, have 2 daughters, Lily, 24 female, and Tina, 22 female. I love my 2 daughters equally, but Lily has always been my favorite since we have so much in common. Tina's always been a bit of a tomboy, so she's my husband's darling, but that doesn't bother me and we're a good family. A few months ago, Tina started dating Philip, a friend of hers from college. Philip is a very sweet, polite, and respectful boy. Like I said before, Tina is a bit of a tomboy and I thought she would change now that she has a boyfriend, but she hasn't changed at all, which annoys me a bit. Lily recently broke up with her boyfriend of several years and has been a bit depressed about it. I know it will make me sound bad, but I've noticed that Philip has much more in common with Lily than with Tina, and at times I see them together at home, I think they make a good couple. I clarify that Philip completely adores Tina and that he has never approached Lily with ulterior motives. When I say they have things in common, I mean it. Same musical tastes, same aspirations, and they already know what to do with their lives, while Tina continues to drift regarding her future. I've come to think that a good boy like Philip is missing out on my youngest daughter. At the last family dinner, Tina invited Philip over. Since he's a very polite boy, he brought chocolates for Tina and flowers for Lily, which is not unusual because he always brings gifts for everyone. It seemed very sweet to me since Lily's breakup was very difficult, and her ex never gave her flowers. While Tina put away the chocolates, Philip stayed talking to Lily, and they really looked great together. I jokingly said, "You two look so great together. Maybe you're dating my wrong daughter." I insist that it was a joke, but no one laughed. Behind me, Tina ran into her room and my husband followed her. Lily looked at me like I was a monster, and Philip turned red, swearing that he only brought the flowers as a friendly gesture with no such intentions. In the end, Philip went home and dinner was ruined. My husband was mad at me for saying that, and now Tina was feeling insecure about her relationship. At the same time, Lily complained to me that now her sister hates her more than before for being too close with her boyfriend, just when they were beginning to get along. They never get along because they're very different. I didn't mean to hurt my daughter. It was an innocent joke. So, am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. You're the a-hole. It clearly wasn't a joke. Tina is gonna dance on your grave at this rate. Mom just won a free trip to the retirement home. Tina is a bit of a tomboy and I thought she would change now that she has a boyfriend, but she hasn't changed at all, which annoys me a bit. Well, we clearly have a major problem here. This 100% puts you deep into the a-hole side of things, but let's keep reading to see if we can salvage that. You two look so great together. Maybe you're dating my wrong daughter. I cannot fathom this and not expecting that to blow up in my face. No one laughed. Well, yeah, saying that is just hurtful. You invalidate the choices that they made to be together. You stick that knife back into Lily for no reason but to sate your own desire for your children to just make you happy at their own expense. That is to say nothing of how you just made Philip and Tina feel. Holy cow. You are an impressively self-serving parent. I didn't mean to hurt my daughter, it was just an innocent joke. Okay, that's a flat-out lie. You knew exactly what you were doing here, and that's abundantly clear from your other opinions. You saw a chance to hurt those around you so you could fit everyone into the boxes you want them to fit into. This isn't about love and jokes. You are a flat-out abuser, and you are finally being called on it. Good. You're the a-hole, 100%. I don't think she was actively trying to hurt Tina. That would require caring about her at all. She never thought about Tina's feelings one way or the other. Her favorite is sad, so she's trying to fix it by giving her the wrong daughter's boyfriend. I'm betting a lot of Christmas presents were distributed to make sure they wanted the right girls when they were younger. Still 100% you're the a-hole, even if it was more neglectful than actively malicious. You're the a-hole. This wasn't a joke, and you know it. I honestly don't even know where to begin. Your blatant disrespect towards Tina's relationship. Your manipulative behavior by testing the water with your joke. Or your clear distaste in your own daughter Tina. I gotta ask you, do you want to date Philip? You said yourself you have so much in common with your daughter Lily. So I don't see this as a stretch. Are you so appalled that some tomboy like Tina pulled someone as sweet and caring as Philip? You even asked when everyone was away and it was just Philip and Lily in the room, because you knew it was wrong. Obviously didn't ask when everyone could be there to laugh at your joke, because it's not a joke. Finally, poor Tina had to walk into this and hear this from her own mother. If she only had an inkling you didn't like her before, she definitely knows now. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for making my daughter do all the post-Christmas celebration cleaning because of the gift she gave to my wife? I've been with my wife for 4.5 years. She suffered from breast cancer and we got married after she completed her treatment. This is also our first Christmas together as a married couple. I have a 16-year-old daughter who can tolerate but not accept her stepmom and can be passive-aggressive towards her sometimes. She's done some things in the past that warranted a number of punishments, but my wife has been graceful and forgiving. But in my opinion, she has gotten out of control, especially with lack of consequences. There's been tension around the holiday, and surprisingly, my daughter decided to spend Christmas with us, saying her mom went to visit her future stepdad's family a few towns over. My wife was thrilled with my daughter staying with us. She prepared everything and I helped her in there while my daughter was on her phone the entire time. I welcomed my in-laws and we had a great time throughout the day. Christmas dinner went fine, though my wife seemed a bit upset. She refused to say what's wrong till I pressured her. She then opened a box my daughter got her for Christmas and there was a bra inside it. My wife broke down crying in the kitchen. I was fuming. I called for my daughter and confronted her about the gift, and she tried to explain it wasn't malicious. But I disagreed and said yes, it was, and it was purposefully done to offend her stepmom and mock her illness. I decided to punish her by having her do all the cleaning after the guests left, but she tried to evade it by saying okay, then turning around and calling her stepbrother to come pick her up and take her to her mother's house. I caught her at the door and kicked her stepbrother out and told her to start cleaning up immediately. She went hysteric, yelling about how cruel it was to punish her on Christmas, and how insensitive and unladylike my wife has to be offended by the bra. I refused to engage in her yelling matches and made sure she did all the cleaning, which my wife said was a lot and asked me to let my daughter go to her mom's house, but I insisted not until the punishment was complete. My daughter called her stepbrother again and left later. She immediately called her mom, who came after me on social media and berated me for doing what I did and ruining Christmas for her. I had an argument with her about what our daughter did, but she sided with her and called me abusive and a robot controlled by my wife, even though my wife asked me to let it go. She got my former in-laws involved, and they have been criticizing me about what I did. Not stay home. I was fully prepared to be on the side of your daughter because that's who I tend to sympathize with in situations like this. But what she did was so unbelievably cruel and malicious that I hardly even know what to say. Having to clean up is the absolute least she could expect for what she did. Teenagers can be cruel, but that's just way over the line. Same here. I fully expected this to be some nutty over-the-top punishment. But honestly, I think the daughter got off easy. That was a vicious move by her. And it sounds like the ex-wife has a huge influence on her daughter's behavior. Not stay home. What your daughter did was cruel and hurtful. Good for you for supporting your wife and trying to get your daughter in line. Honestly, she sounds awful, and your wife sounds like an angel. You also seemed balanced, so I don't know what happened with your daughter, but your ex should not be siding with her over that behavior. Stand your ground. One day when your daughter matures, I hope she apologizes to your wife. I don't know what happened with your daughter, but your ex. That's what happened to the daughter. The ex. OP, you need to sit your daughter down and explain to her clearly, probably 3 times in different words each time, that there aren't sides. There's decent behavior and horrible behavior, and that a person's character is determined by their behavior, not what's inside. Your daughter is turning into a cruel boy, and that is what's unacceptable to you. Not that she has trouble accepting that you've moved on from her mother. Not stay home. You made her do a chore. She tried to undermine your authority by just leaving instead. You stood strong as you should have. That was a cruel gift to give. The thing is, she doesn't live with us, so she doesn't normally do any chores except taking care of her own room and laundry when she comes over to stay. Her mom tried to threaten CPS in the past for simply giving my daughter a schedule to help with the cleanup. I can see why your ex-wife is your ex, and the apple didn't fall far from the tree. I'm so sorry. Neither of you deserve that. Next story. Am I the a-hole for calling off the wedding over a joke and refused to return the gifts? I, female 23, was engaged to my fiancé, male 27, for 8 months. During the pre-wedding ceremony, he was kinda snappy, rude, and brute. When I asked him is everything alright, he told me to shut up and focus on myself. I was appalled and asked him to mind his words and tone, and he just huffed and left. I was embarrassed and told my family and friends how I was unsure about the wedding. Later, his mother came and told me he was just stressed and didn't mean to insult me, and that patience is a virtue and some BS. I was tired and not in the headspace to make any decision. Then the next day during the wedding, when they said the bride is coming, he pretended to run away and hide. Few people laughed and he told me I looked so shiny like glitter. It sounded like an insult, so I asked him whether he's sure that he wants to marry. He said, isn't it too late to even think that? That was it. I got up and said I refused to marry him and that he's a jerk. The wedding stopped, his mom fainted, and his dad was like, you have to pay for the expenses. The wedding was a small ceremony, so not expensive, but they gave me some jewelry. In our country, the gifts from groom to bride or bride to groom given during engagement belongs to who it is given. Like if I gave him gifts during engagement, he doesn't have to return it and vice versa. They want me to give it back as I stopped the wedding. I told them the reason I stopped the wedding is because of their son, and that I don't have to give them anything. He went on a rant and yelled at me and called me a greedy witch, and that I can't take a joke. Broke his heart, insulted his family and said that he'll go to court. He can't do anything in court, but my parents are saying we should give everything back as I'm the one who overreacted. I was furious as they cannot see the disrespect, and yelled at them and left. Am I the a-hole for not returning the gifts and stopping the wedding? Edit. 1. I knew him for more than 10 years. I work in a different state during lockdown last year when I visited my parents. He told his parents he wanted to marry me and our parents arranged the marriage. And after engagement, we went on a few dates and I don't know him as a person that well. 2. We spent, for example, $5,000 for engagement. It was a huge ceremony. And because of COVID, his parents spent around $3,000 for the wedding, which I'm willing to pay back. And he gave me gifts worth $4,000. So together they have spent like $7,000 while we $5,000. We have to return the wedding cost, which is $3,000. And if I return the gift too, then the entire cost falls on us while the jerk walks free. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole for stopping the wedding. If you see red flags, best to stop now than to go through a divorce down the line. You deserve to marry someone who respects you. In regards to returning the gifts, depending on where you live, legally you may have to give the gifts back. You may want to look into the applicable law. The law is in my favor, so I don't have to return the engagement gifts. Keep the gifts. It's his price for learning he can't talk/treat women that way. Keep it out of spite. Do not return it. Let them waste money going to court for it. Who cares? They raised a crappy person. Keep it. Not the a-hole. Him running away as a joke is not the worst, but his language is verbally abusive, and it's appalling that everyone around you supports it. Don't get married to him ever. However, I see no reason to keep a wedding gift from his parents. If they want the jewelry back, just give it to them. Move on with your life and be free of it. His parents arranged the wedding and I'm willing to pay them back, but he gave the jewelry. Even if they continuously ask for the jewelry back, you ask for the payment of engagements back. Simple math. Tell them directly to see them in court if they do not relent. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for calling out my mom about her gift-giving methods when I was a kid? We had our usual immediate family gathering for the gift opening, and the kids enjoyed it. My mom was recounting how she would always give me what I wanted, but she only stopped after I was grown and she changed religions. I did a double take and said, you showed me what you'd gotten me, but I never actually got it. She argued that she gave me what I wanted and had pictures to prove. Now, my mom had a habit of buying me what I wanted for Christmas, allowing me to take the wrapping off, take pictures of me with the gifts, but take the actual present for me and putting it away saying, I got you this, but you're on punishment, so you can't have it now. Then I would never see it again. I'd ask for it months later and she again would say I'm on punishment for whatever and couldn't have it. She would keep these items and present them to me as an adult when she was cleaning out closets. It was a mean method, and still upsets me when she gives me the items. I told her this and she denied it, but my family was appalled. My mom then tried to backtrack and say she took them because I always broke it. I say, how can I break it if I never got them? And you're giving me the pristine items as an adult. She didn't have an answer, so I let it go and we carried on. Later, she approached me and said I embarrassed her in front of the family and said it wasn't fair. I apologized, but I didn't think it was fair to act like she'd always given me what I wanted when she didn't. She's still quite upset with me. Am I the a-hole for calling her out? Why on earth did you apologize for telling the truth? Not the a-hole. I'd retract the apology. I apologized because I wasn't trying to embarrass her. Honestly, I apologize for everything if I end up making someone uncomfortable. So your mom would buy you a gift, take pictures of you unwrapping it, then took it away for some BS reason. Probably to return it and get her money back? Yeah, that's going to catch up with you one day. Not the a-hole. She didn't get the money back. She has given me items as an adult that I'd wanted when I was like 7 after she cleaned out her closets. Like, oh, here's that easy bake oven you wanted. I kept it all these years for you. Then I'm like, Ma, I'm 28. What am I going to do with an easy bake now? Not stay home. If it had truly been a punishment, she wouldn't have been embarrassed. It also shows she knew it was wrong, but did it anyway. So, screw her. Let her be embarrassed. Edit. I see a few asking why I'm still in contact with her. Honestly, because I'm a softie and she's my mom. There was a couple of years I did go no contact, and it was hard, but I used that time to find my footing emotionally. During that time, I met my hubby and his family and friends. That experience opened my eyes to how a healthy family functions. It was magical, for lack of a better term. They all accepted me with love and open arms. Once I had a real foundation to build on, we started our family. I'm low contact with my mom now, but I don't want to deny her her grandkids. We've discussed a lot of things done over my childhood and have gotten similar responses from her. It hurt and sucked, but I feel I got what I needed off my chest. And instead of holding a grudge for something I can't change, just move forward within my own set boundaries. We have hiccups, but all in all, I'm okay. Not great, but okay. Thank you everyone for your kind words and advice. I really appreciate it. For those concerned about my kids, I have set boundaries with her about my kids. If there's an inkling of any treatment she gave me, she's cut. She knows this, but has not tested it. I also don't leave her alone with them. I don't play about my babies.